Bum 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 bum. JoshCast. Dun 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 dun. Oh, we're on episode 32. Dun 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 dun. Oh, almost a full year. Dun 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 dun. Of a podcast with maybe one or two listeners. Dun 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 dun. JoshCast. Dun 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 dun. And as you can see, the production value is only getting better here at the JoshCast. I'm recording on my phone, in my car, in a suburban neighborhood outside of a coffee shop on a Sunday, which has been kind of the tradition. So yesterday I went to the LA Convention Center, and I went to go to the LA ComicCon, Stan Lee's LA ComicCon. Great comic book convention. It was a lot of fun, a lot of interesting people there, and it literally took me an hour to find parking, and it would not have taken me an hour to find parking if I had read the directions on where to park that my friend had sent me, written very clearly and very well, very easily. But I didn't read all the directions. I just saw parking, and he started to write something, and I said, "Oh, I'll figure it out. It's fine. I'll figure it out." And I think driving into downtown Los Angeles, not having it figured out, is sort of like invading Iraq and not having it figured out. You're there way more longer than you want to be, and everyone's pissed. That's how that felt to me. So I literally I went around in a circle. It took a half hour to go around in a circle, and then I finally did read his directions, and I saw where to park, and so I finally drove up and I parked, and it cost $40, and by then I didn't care. I was like, fine, whatever, take it. That is actually a brilliant business model for parking. That's how they can charge $40. They know that there are enough people like me who go in without a plan, who get frustrated and are willing to pay the $40. That right there, that is how the economy of downtown Los Angeles is thriving. I walk into the comic book convention, and I don't like the vibes of the LA Convention Center. There's something about it that just depresses me. I mean, everything depresses me, but there's something about the convention center it's all the fluorescent lighting. They have these huge convention rooms with carpeting, which I find so weird. Really badly stained carpets. It's the carpet is a monument to all of the messy capitalism that goes on in there on a weekly basis. I don't know why they carpet it. I don't understand in general. I don't understand industrial carpeting because it's not comfortable. I don't feel like taking off my shoes and putting my bare feet on it and going, it feels like I'm at home. It feels horrible. It should all be concrete. That's what it should be. That's what I think it should just be the concrete in the LA Convention Center. Concrete. That's right. We're here to transact. We don't need to be warm about this. This isn't warm and fuzzy. This isn't, a socialist convention center. Capitalism. That's what this is. So I'm walking around, and I see they have a bunch of people signing autographs, a bunch of people who've been in sci-fi movies, or we had a few different Power Rangers there, that kind of thing. And some people had lines of fans who were there to get autographs signed, and then there were people who had no lines, just sitting there, and no one was going up and asking to sign their autograph. And that, I thought, was so depressing to me. I was sitting there watching that, just thinking about how they're there, and I think they charge money for the autographs. So this is an income for them, but it's also an opportunity, I think, to be acknowledged for something in your life, and no one is acknowledging you, and I just really felt sad about that, and I just felt like I was just thinking about the impermanence of man and how nothing we do matters, and eventually we're all going to die, and it's all we do is basically leave our footprints in the sand, and that's going to be washed away by the tide in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. I don't know why I used 2 shakes of a lamb's tail to make my point, but everything we do is meaningless and impermanent. And I'm sitting there feeling depressed, and a giant Megatron walks by. And it's harder to be depressed when a giant Megatron walks by. Transition, dun, 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 transition, dun, 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 transition, dun, dun, transition. I think the greatest moment was I had a Batman costume, but I didn't put it on yet, so I was just wearing just some jeans and a button-up shirt, my typical business casual look. And somebody, everyone else is dressed up like Batman or Harley Quinn or, whatever. And somebody walks up to me and asks me, "Hey, are you cosplaying as Seinfeld?" And I should have just said, "Yes, I am. What's the deal with all these lines? Could the parking in LA be any worse? Really? Really?" That would have been, I should have just gone with it. And here's the other problem. So I had a Batman costume. It was one that I just grabbed at a costume shop that was just the cape, a quote-unquote muscle suit, and a mask. The mask does not fit me. The mask is 2 sizes too big. The mask was designed for Ben Affleck, and when I put it on, it looks like Ben Affleck's 5-year-old son is trying to wear Ben Affleck's clothing. So I'm wearing, the suit is not flattering, and I'm walking around, and on the one hand, I feel like a dork because I'm wearing a Batman suit, but on the other hand, I'm feeling like a failure as a nerd because the people around me who are wearing fully decked out bat suits look so much better than I do. I feel like I'm being judged and hated by all conceivable people. People are walking by me going, "Oh, that's a dork." And then somebody dressed up as Batman is going, "Well, he didn't put any effort into it." It was a profoundly awkward experience that was made. It probably didn't have to be either. I mean, the one thing I will say, though, was that when I was wearing the mask as Batman, I felt like I suddenly had permission to be depressed and be angry and be morose because it was part of the character. And that felt wonderful. That was great. That really felt like people were walking by. I didn't have to smile. I didn't have to, put on that stupid grin because I was Batman, and Batman does not have time to stand on ceremony. Batman is not polite. Batman wants to strike fear into the hearts of criminals, not be concerned about whether or not the criminal thinks that Batman is being polite. It was wonderful. That was the highlight of my day. As soon as I put on that mask, in a lot of ways, all the judgment I was feeling went away, and I finally felt like I could be me. So that's why Batman is Batman. It's the only time where he can be, angry and mean, and it's acceptable. I wish I could wear the mask in real life. Perhaps I should wear the mask in real life. It was wonderful. It's really wonderful. Okay, so we covered that. What's the point of doing this podcast? I should transition first. Transition. I think the point for me of doing the podcast is I'm trying to dig deeper as a comedian, and I'm hoping that by just kind of talking out my ideas, brilliant jokes will come to me. And 32 episodes in, I think we're finding that this may not be the right modus operandi. Is that even the right term? This may not be the right point of attack on that. But I'm trying to dig deeper. And, just reveal who I am as much as possible. And I don't know. I mean, who am I? What's underneath the neuroses? I think, somebody said that underneath fear is anger, and underneath anger is, no, that's Yoda. Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. That's what he said. And that's also what she said. But that was what Yoda said. No, somebody said under fear is love. That's what it was. If I have a tremendous amount of fear, that means underneath it all is love. And So I guess I'm full of love. That's my problem. I have so much love that I am afraid. I'm overflowing with love. I don't, that could be possible. I'm not sure. But, do I want to be with someone? Yes, I do. I like to be in a relationship with someone. If I was in a relationship with someone, I could be talking to them right now instead of doing this. That would be useful, perhaps. And the only advantage of doing this is that there's no one around to call me on my BS. I mean, if whatever person I'm in a relationship with is going to have a difference of opinion, and that's always unfortunate. I'm really tired of other people's opinions. I really am. And you know what? I give it to you. I'm not always right. I admit it. I am wrong. But I would still rather find a justification for being right even when I'm wrong than admit that you're right. That's where I'm at in my life. And I think that explains the election. Is that just what it means to get older? Just a point of, you know what? I'm right now. I'm not in my 20s anymore. I'm in my 30s. I paid enough taxes. I'm right. You're wrong. America. This is the end of the podcast. The end of the podcast. And the children sing and the children play. This is the end of the podcast.